this is my team for what happened in Gameweek 22. So let's start off with the most disappointing thing in the game week, well, arguably. So McCarthy, he goes in, not him in particular, Southampton go and concede 9 goals to Man United, but funnily enough, he didn't get any minus points because he made 6 saves. So that got him 2 points, minus 4 for 9 points. Minus 4 for 9 goals conceded. So he was on a not very good 0. And then Robertson. Sadly, Robertson's just been getting twos. Even though Liverpool have played well in 2 out of those 4 games. Sadly, Robertson hasn't contributed. And his Liverpool's next fixtures are Man City at home and Leicester away. So it's almost thinking, do I take him out? But no, I've got other problems. I need to get rid of a couple of other players. And then we move on to the defence. Dallas, who seems to be playing as a midfielder now, but is a defender on here, but still manages to get 1 point against Everton, so he doesn't get any attacking returns. And Leeds don't keep a clean sheet. Didn't expect them to. Leeds are a funny team. They'll go win 3-1 against Leicester, and then they'll go lose 2-1 against Everton. Yep, just how Leeds play. Then Stones and Cancelo. Yep, the Man City boys have got yet another clean sheet. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 clean sheets on the bounce. That is nuts, absolute nuts. And then, of course, I didn't captain any of them, which kind of backfired. Maddison, 11 points. Maddison's doing bits at the moment for me. From when I bought him in, he's got me 18 points in the last 3 game weeks. And then Wolves next. You never know with Wolves. They just don't seem to look like scoring goals. But then at the same time, they don't concede many. But at the same time, alright, enough at the same time. But what I'm trying to say is Wolves aren't in the best of form at the moment. And Fernandes, who I thought, do I captain him? He hasn't been in the best of form recently. But then at the same time, it's Southampton who are a good side. So why should I captain him? Yes, because they go beat Southampton. He scores a goal, gets 2 assists, gets all 3 bonus points, and a clean sheet. So if I'd have captained him, I would have had loads more points. Son. Spurs are just not the same without Kane. Look at Son. 2-5, 2-2-2. And Kane went out against Liverpool. So, post that, he's done nothing. Before that, he got 5 points there and 2 points there. But what I'm trying to say is Spurs don't seem to be like the same outfit at the moment. You never know, they might turn it around. But with West Brom at home next, I'm going to keep Son in for this week. Just see how he does. If he can't score or do anything against West Brom or Spurs play rubbish, but he plays well, or you know what I'm trying to say, if it doesn't go well, I'm going to probably take him out because he's quite pricey. And we'll see how that one goes. And then Salah, who was so disappointing. 4 points. I thought, who do I captain? It's got to be Salah, it's got to be. Liverpool just won the last 2 games. We brushed past Spurs quite relatively easily. Same with West Ham. Brighton. No, Brighton go and beat us at Anfield. We were 68 games unbeaten there, and then we go lose 2 at last 2. Simple. Just how it works in the Premier League nowadays, sadly. And with 2 hard fixtures next, it doesn't look any better for Salah, but I'm just going to keep him in because he's my boy. He's not my boy, but as a Liverpool fan, I like Salah, so I always have a bit more, what do they call it? I always, with the Liverpool players, I always give them a bit more leeway before I take them out my team. And he did go and get 2 goals against West Ham, so before that. So it's not exactly like he hadn't scored for ages, because he scored the other game. So we're going to keep him in. And then Gundogan, we just keep the man in, but there is a risk I may mention, because I know he's been in beautiful form. Look, an assist there, nothing there, but then look, he's got a goal there, and then he's got a goal there, and then he's got another goal there. Yeah, he's been in brilliant form, but there's just a risk, okay? And then Bamford. I doubted him when he was getting 2-2-2-1. I was like, do I take him out? Nope, I thought I'll keep him in. And then he went and repaid me last week, and then this week he does pretty much the same. And he's cheap. He's cheap as chips, so makes more sense. So the bench, as usual, my bench does nothing. Shea Adams apparently almost scored, but apparently his, I don't know, a tiny bit of his arm was offside. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. And he just hasn't been in the form lately. And sooner I get him out my team, I don't know, I'll probably have to get him out my team soon, but we might keep him in. As I know he's 5.8 million, which is still quite pricey, but I'll have a look around. And then Button, yeah, the man doesn't play a game. Brewster, did he even come on? No, he He hadn't done anything for Sheffield United yet. That's the problem. I feel bad because when he was at Liverpool, he looked like a promising prospect, and now he's just not doing anything. And then Bernardo, he's got to get rid of him because he is not going to play a game until the end of the season because he's joined Red Bull Salzburg on loan. So that is what it is. So the positive we can look at this is, look, 62 points, the average 57. Win-win. And the green arrow. Win-win. But the captain didn't work, and that is what it is. Anyway, guys, let's go and look at some good options for the upcoming game week. Oh yeah, I'll have to tell you something in a second. So the thing I was going to say is, let's go and look at the teams that have 2 fixtures in game week 24 and game week 25. So the first team is Manchester City. So they have Spurs at home and Everton away. So on paper, those fixtures look quite tricky, but Man City are probably the best side in the league at the moment. Keeping clean sheets are fun, scoring goals, winning games, so you may as well bring some of their players in for game week 24. And the next team with 2 fixtures in game week 24 is Everton. So they've got Fulham at home and Man City at home. Don't write Fulham off. They may be lower in the league, but Fulham are a good side when I've watched them, and of course Man City's a harder game. But yeah. And then we've got Burnley. So Burnley have Crystal Palace away and Fulham at home. Burnley don't score too many goals, but you never know. They keep a lot of clean sheets. And then we got Fulham, who have Everton away and Burnley away. So Fulham aren't a bad side. They are good going forward. So Lookman, Cavallero, they contribute quite a lot to Fulham's goals. And they're not a bad side, so you could bring some of their players in as well. So now we'll move on to the game week 25 doubles. The teams that have 2 fixtures in game week 25. So first of all, we got Leeds. So Leeds have Wolves away and Southampton at home. So not easy fixtures for Leeds, but these are a very attacking team and they seem to always score goals pretty much every game, but then leaves them open to counter-attack. And then we got Southampton. So they have Chelsea at home and Leeds away, and Southampton, of course they lost 9-0 last game, but they're not a bad side, I don't think, at all. And those 2 fixtures are quite tricky, but they could expose Leeds on the counter-attack because Leeds like to commit every man forward, bar the Ayling and Melee, really. So now let's move on to good options for game week 23 and onwards, really. Just look at the photo. Anyway, so the first option is James Justin. So he's 5.1 million, so that's quite cheap. But he's owned by 28.4% of the games, so that's quite a lot. But people realise how good he is. And his last 5 game weeks, he's managed to accumulate 31 points. And Leicester are a good side as well. And he literally pretty much starts every game. And with Wolves next, the thing is with Wolves is they don't look in the best shape at the moment. Yes, they beat Arsenal, 9-man Arsenal, but Wolves don't seem to score too many goals and they concede a few here and there. And Leicester are an informed team at the moment, so James Justin could be a good pick for the upcoming game week. So you may as well bring him in. And also, the good thing about Justin is that as he's 5.1 million, which is not too much for a defender, you can bring in other players that you might want to bring in that are more expensive. And the next option is Adam Webster. So Adam Webster is only 4.4 million, and he's only owned by 1.4% of the game. And his next fixtures are Burnley away. So Burnley don't score too many goals, so it could be a good fixture there for Brighton and Adam Webster, who seems to play every game. And Brighton just kept 4 clean sheets on the bounce, so maybe they'll keep a 5th one. So that might sound quite unlikely because Brighton don't strike you as a team to keep so many clean sheets, but they've been very good form recently, so it could be a good option for your team. So next on the list is Mikel Antonio, the West Ham forward. So basically, he's going to start pretty much every game as long as he's fit because he's a bit injury prone. Well, I'm not too sure if he's injury prone, but I've seen him put up with hamstrings and stuff here and there. But now Heller's moved to Ajax, is their main striker, and he's going to pretty much start every game he's fit. Last 5 games, 3 assists, 2 goals. He costs 6.7 million, so he's not too much. He is owned by 21.4%, but that's because people recognise his quality recently. And then, on paper, bear in mind on paper, because the Premier League can throw any result at you, as you've seen this season, if you've been watching the Premier League, which I'm sure you have, as otherwise you wouldn't do fantasy football if you don't watch the Premier League or don't keep up with the scores. Anyway, he's got Fulham away next, and then Sheffield United at home. So, yes, like I said, on paper, they're pretty good fixtures, and an in from West Ham side. Well, yeah, because they won their last game against Villa, and Villa are a good team, so see how it goes. But you can bring him in if you want to. And the next option on the list, and surprisingly, is really lowly owned at 1.1% and only costs 5.8 million, is Eberici
Eze. I think that's how you pronounce his name. So the Palace man has been in good form recently. In his last 5 games, he has managed to get a goal and an assist. So I know I said he's been in good form recently. His last 5 games, they don't really show that he's been in the best form, but in his last 2 games, let's just say that, he's got an assist and a goal. And then, of course, a clean sheet. And took 3 bonus in Game Week 21, and in Game Week 22 took 2 bonus. I know Zaha's out, so arguably limit his potential because Zaha's like their best player, but at his price point, with his next fixture being Leeds, a very attacking team, and then they've got Burnley, Brighton and Fulham, on paper, it looks good for Palace, and Eze is like their star man bar Zaha, so you could bring him in, and it could be a good differential option if it pays off. So as it stands this week, I'm just going to make one change. Alright, I'm sorry for the audio at the start of the video. I changed the way I use my microphone, so that's probably why it sounds a bit clearer as the video went on. But this week, anyway, let's go back to this. This week, I'm going to take out Shea Adams, because he hasn't been in good form, and neither at Southampton, really, and bring in Antonio. So that's the only transfer I'm going to make. I will get Bernardo out in time, because, of course, he's moved to Salzburg on loan, so there's no point in having him, because he's not even going to play. But those 2 fixtures of Fulham and Sheffield United, they just entice me too much to bring in Antonio. And you never know, I may even captain him. That is a big, bold shout, but have a look at the others. Salah's got City. Gundogan's got Liverpool. Tottenham are not in form. Man United got Everton. Leicester got Wolves. Do you know what I'm trying to say is that arguably he looks like the best option, but he may not be. He may be not as good, so good option, and it might fail. But I'm not banking on captain and Antonio, but it is an idea. But yeah, that's what I'm going to bring in this week as it stands, because it could change. But I'm pretty sure Shea Adams out, Antonio in. So put in the comments below if you have any questions or queries about anything to do with fantasy football, and I'll try and answer them as quick as possible, because the deadline is tomorrow and I need to get this video out quickly. So that's why it's coming out now. I'll try. Anyway guys, I'll catch you in the next one.